Hey guys, in this video we're going to be covering activity 4C.4. Our mastery learning objective is I can put the answers in context and determine the rate of change when given a graph by applying the rate of change formula. So remember, rate of change formula is just that y squared minus y1 over x2 minus x1. In terms of context, it's just referencing whatever's happening in the actual word problem. So what does it mean when you are positive and negative? Well, positive is just when our graph is going up. So positive, think of going up or forward, right? Depending on whatever problem we have, it can either be going up or going forward. When it's negative, this is wherever our graph is going down, or you can think backwards. All right, so if we get a positive value, what that's going to tell us is that our graph is going up or it's going forward. If we get a negative value, that's going to tell us that it's going down or it's going backwards. Larger number versus a smaller number. Well, a larger number is basically saying it's going faster. So if you have a big positive number, that means you're going faster up or faster forward. If you have a bigger negative number, that means you're going faster down or you're going faster backwards. And if you get a smaller number, well, that just means the opposite, right? So this means you're going slower. So again, you're going slower forward, slower up, slower down, slower backwards, depending on if it's positive or negative. So looking at this first example, we're going to start it off exactly as the other ones when we're finding average rate of change. It says the function to the right models the path of a projectile over time. Projectile just means something that is moving in the air. So find the average rate of change between x and 2. X equals 1 and x equals 2. Remember that this x value is referencing just that x value, right? The y value you have to find looking at the graph. So again, those would be the 2 points that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and write those out. So when x is equal to 1, my y value is 144. And when x is equal to 2, my y value is 128. So I'm going to go ahead and use those to help me solve for my average rate of change. So I'm going to take my 128, subtract it by 144, have that over 2 minus 1. Equals 128 minus 144 is a negative 16. And if you need your calculator, feel free to use your calculator. If you have, you can take 128 and subtract 144, right? It says negative 16. 2 minus 1 is 1. So therefore, is 1. Our answer then is a negative 16. I'm going to make that look a little bit better here. Let me fix this down here as well. So this is a 1. My answer is negative 16. So what does that tell us? Well, the 16 tells us that it's negative, right? So above, what did we say that was? Negative. And that means it's going down, right? Or it's going forward. Find the average rate of change between 3 and 4. So again, these are x values. So when x equals 3, that's going to be this point right here. And when x equals 4, that's going to be this point right here. So those are going to be the 2 points I use my average rate of change for. So at 3, my y value is at 80. And at 4, my y value is at 0. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract those. So 0 minus 80 is going to be over 4 minus 3. 0 minus 80 is a negative 80. 4 minus 1 is 1, and this is negative 80. So again, this is also negative. So still going down or forward, right? So part C says, well, interpret the meaning of the difference in the rates of change. So what I'm asking you is that negative 16 and that negative 80. What does this mean? So all this means is that, let's use this color. Well, the object is going down, right? If it's negative, that means it's going down. So we're going to say the object is going down between, looking at those first values, to be between 1 and 2 seconds, right? Because that was our x-axis. But going down faster between 3 and 4 seconds. So we know that it's negative because that's what we got in our answer. So that's telling us it's going down, right? It's going down because they were both negative. We know it's going faster though between 3 and 4 because that is a more negative number. So that's why we use that word faster, because it's obviously going faster down between those points. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next example. Maybe we can do these a little bit quicker. If I have the average rate of change between 2 and 3. So our 2 points then would going to be when x equals 2, my y value is right here. So that's kind of like, what is that? Maybe like around 52. So when x is 2, my y value is around 52. When x is 3, my y value is around, let's say 61. And then we want to find the average rate of change. So I'm going to go ahead and take 61, subtract 52 on the top. 3 minus 2. 61 minus 52 is 9. And 3 minus 2 is 1. 9 over 1 is 9. So that is positive. Right? And positive tells us we're going up or we're going forward. Looking at the next 2 points. When x is 3, what's my y value? So when x is 3, my y value is still up there. I'm going to use that 61 again. When x is 4, my y value looks to be at 61 as well. So 61 minus 61 over 4 minus 3, 0 over 1, which is 0. 0 just means it's not moving up or down, right? It's staying constant. So interpret the meaning and the difference between our average rate of changes here. Well, the object is going up between, what were those 2 first points? X equals 2. So 2 and 3 seconds. And isn't moving up or down between 3 and 4 seconds. All right, so going up, right, we got that positive value between 2 and 3, and then between 3 and 4 seconds, it's not moving at all. All right, that brings us to the last question. of activity 4C.4. Go ahead and work on that activity. There's also a mini quiz. Good luck.